everybody, welcome back. We got an interesting one for you today. My type of issue, even though it's unfortunate for the homeowner, I do like to find and solve these problems. They're dangerous. The customer called in. They said that they had a power outage in a section of their home, so we raced out, and that was a couple days ago. We did it. We went over it, found the issue, de-energized things, made it safe, and now if you want to follow me, I'll go ahead and show you exactly what the issue was. Antwane was here at the beginning when we first came out, but this is, if you look here, there's burning and scorching there, and the bus bar is actually melted back a little bit, so that's why we're actually replacing this panel, because once the bus bar is damaged like that, we no longer want to stand by it or can say that it's safe. So better safe than sorry, and we go ahead and just remove and replace this panel. This here is the circuit that you can see how badly it was scorched and melted. It was, I think, loose lugs that contributed to the problem. Both of these, they're called Polaris taps. They're just way to connect larger wires together. Generally, you don't see this unless they were very loose. These are good connections. I don't know the brand on these ones, but yeah, these are Polaris. These are name brand. These are high quality connections, but you can see it's badly melted. Let me go ahead and I can actually probably cut this open. We can take a peek inside. You can see it's badly melted. Let me see. Yep, that's the problem. They weren't tight. One was, the other one wasn't. So no matter how good of the quality equipment you use, if you don't install it as per manufacturer specifications or National Electric Code, you're always going to see failure like this. So it's important to make sure that you're doing things to the best, standard that you can possibly do, and pay attention to the details. I mean, it's very easy to just miss tightening down a screw, but that can end up causing failure, which in turn can become a much more serious problem. Now there's a couple other things going on in this panel that didn't contribute to the problem, and I just wanted to kind of point out. There's a generator system on this house, and this junction box up here it's called a load shed module. So we need to replace the 6-gauge wire that's for the air handler that passes through a load shed module. The load shed module, what it does is when the generator turns on, this way you can have a little bit smaller generator, a little bit more efficient, and you don't use as much gas, which gives longevity. Like if there's a hurricane or something like that, if you have a smaller generator, let's say a 15 kW, 15,000 watt generator, you could power a larger home like this, maybe even 20 kW. I don't know what size this generator is. I haven't actually looked at it, but what happens is a smaller generator uses less fuel over a longer period of time. So you could go with a large enough generator to power every single thing throughout the house. Hang on, there's a truck in the background. So you could go with a large enough generator to power everything in the home, but then you'd go through fuel much quicker, and it's difficult to get fuel during the midst of a storm or immediately following a storm when the area's been damaged and the delivery routes are impacted and stuff like that. So whether it's propane, diesel, gas, whatever the type of generator it is, you're not going to be able to replenish the supply. So you want to go with a little smaller system in order to get the same size tank to last a longer period of time, and then you install load shed modules, which these are this is for the dryer, the oven. So what that does is when there's not enough amperage or wattage on the generator to power the oven turning on and the air conditioning system turning on, it will shed the load, which means it turns off. It senses that, okay, we're coming to the limit of what the generator can handle. Let's turn off something that somebody won't notice, like an air conditioning system. If you turn that off for 15 or 20 minutes while the oven's going, nobody's going to notice that. It's not going to make any difference to the temperature of the home, and that's the benefit of having the load shed modules. But you can see that, again, we have to replace the wiring through the load shed module system, and that's it. So, just Antwane was very diligent and, caught the problem before it got any worse, which is, what we expect and we see frequently with Antwane. He's definitely paying attention to detail, and I'm glad that we were able to mitigate this problem before it got any worse. So a couple things you want to watch out for when you're replacing a panel like this is make sure you're labeling everything correctly. We don't know if we can trust the old labeling on the panel cover. We try to, you know, corroborate what's there with making sure that it's correct, but we'll always do a hot check when we're done. You know, you want to label each circuit that you're going to be replacing the breaker with. And then one other thing that we noticed, which could have contributed potentially to this problem, we're not sure, if the wire shorted out on the side of the box, which it looks like it may have done. You can see there that little scorch mark there. If the Polaris tap shorted out there, it would have stopped this problem sooner. We're not sure if it actually, we can check and wring out the box, but there's supposed to be a screw right here called a bonding screw, and it's actually missing. So what that does is it connects the box to the grounding system. And that's a little scary because this system only, it has, you know, your main feed's coming in. It's a 200 amp main lug panel. You have your neutral here, which is also very loose. And the problem is there's no ground coming in. Oh, actually, there is a ground. Okay, let's take that back. So there was a ground, but the ground is not connected to the box in any way, shape, or form. I mean, these wires touching, bare copper wires going into the grounding bar and then touching the side, they may have, you know, did a circumstantial ground, like it just happens to be working, but it's not ideal or safe. And again, these are the types of things you want to watch out for, pay attention to, and make sure when you're initially installing the panel, you don't mess up, and then we catch them later on, like how we're doing now.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, like always, we're having a problem finding materials. Since the pandemic, it's been hard to find materials. I think it's 33 and a half, 34 and a half.
It's 43 and a half.
43 and a half.
There you go.
I think the one he has is 48.
Where's he at?
He's going to the Home Depot right here on Hillsborough.
Yeah, and is that the main lug? Okay. Yeah, that's all we need, right?
Yeah, just the main lug.
Yeah, he's got everything else. All right, so yeah, if you want to just. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much. Bye. So it's all the way in Boynton, I think. Hang on.
Right there, right? It's on Hapaluzzo? I mean,
Yeah.
Woodbright? Woodbright 95?
That's roughly, yeah, 10th Avenue North.
Oh, 10th Avenue.
So,
is it a GE? If so, I can have them
yes.
get the breakers right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get that panel.
I just sent you the exact address.
The one at Home Depot.
So if you want to take a quick peek over here, the guy's blowing and doing stuff. Look at that. Blech. That's what's been smelling. I don't know if we should film that. It's disgusting. Did you see that? So this is the generator that we were talking about. It's a 22 kW. This is a pretty big house. This house has actually a 300 amp service. And it actually runs off of natural gas. So the concern of running out of fuel isn't as much of a concern after a little further investigation. But the size generator is a little less expensive, and it is more environmentally friendly. So that's the benefits of having the load shed module like that. This is, so you have twin 150 amp main breakers. You add those together and you get 300 amps. The other thing that's interesting is this house has dual gas-powered Insta-Hot tankless water heaters. So, and they're powered off the natural gas as well. So that takes a lot of the load off the house as well. So this is a pretty efficient home. It's newer, but it's definitely efficient, and the system is well designed. But no matter how much time you do in design and taking care in the installation, just a couple little details like that, and it may not have even been the original electrician that neglected to tighten that screw down. So it's tough to say how that actually happened, but at the end of the day, at least we were able to find it before it got much worse. So as you can see, I had a little bit of an issue finding and locating the correct panel for this installation. The issue was the panel that we were going to install. This is a 42 circuit full-size GE breaker panel. So that's a little bit of an oddball one. We actually had to go with a 225 amp panel to make it the exact same size, even though it's only being fed with 300 amps from the dual 300 amp main breakers I showed you outside. So this is a 225 amp panel that we're going to be putting in to make sure it fits the location and matches the size of this panel perfectly. It was a little tricky to find the correct one. We tried all the local big box stores. We ended up going with a local electrical supply store. But these are the types of issues that we deal with on a regular basis, and frankly makes our job a little more interesting, and a little wrinkle here and there makes it a challenge. And at the end of the day, that's what makes the day go by a little faster. So,
man, check this out. Ground going through, running straight through. I got to disconnect that, right?
Oh well, yeah, it's gonna be in the. Yeah, let me get you the screwdriver. Yeah, so that's just feeding straight through.
It's gonna disconnect this ground that's feeding straight through, so that I could change the panel.
So the ground is back feeding through. It's actually not really an issue at all. It's just a little unusual that they wouldn't have gone to the regular ground on that panel side. So just a little, it's not really even unusual, but he thought that maybe there was an issue with it. Antwane did. The landscaping back here is beautiful. Definitely a nice little oasis, nice and cool in here because all the overhead trees and stuff. Definitely worked in much worse spots than this South Florida heat. Right now it's pretty mild though. That screw's still captured. See, it's nice when they have when the screw is captured like that, where it doesn't come out. The other side doesn't have it though. Totally missing. So, you always want to be careful, because this is all live right now. It's important that it's only a certified electrician open and inspect this type of stuff. Here's a little thing that's, we see frequently, but most people probably wouldn't be aware of. That's actually a lizard right there that's gone across the A and B phase of the line side of this 150 amp main breaker. So that happens. Sometimes if your lights flicker and you don't know why, it could have been something like that, a lizard getting in somewhere it shouldn't have gotten into. These breakers are a little tricky to find, especially the 150s. They're a little tricky to find sometimes, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. You could have an electrician, take a peek at your stuff and make sure that, if you do have something that's a little more difficult to find, we keep up on it. Make sure there's no issues in the future. Have a little bit of corrosion here on this. What this does is it connects these two bars to neutral and ground bar, or right now they're both considered neutrals. And the first means of disconnect, it's important that you have your ground and neutral bonded together. So you see the green wires here and the white wires here, they're common. So if I were to grab my tester here, I'll do that real quick just to kind of give you an idea. So So this is my multimeter. You can put it on continuity, which what it does is when there's connection between the two, it'll ring. So see, this is the ground, or serving as the ground, I guess you could say, and this is serving as the neutral, but they have continuity as if they're connected together because this is first means of disconnect. So anytime that's at first means of disconnect, the grounds and neutrals are bonded. Beyond this point, they're no longer bonded. They need to be separate and designated, so they can't have continuity except for at the first means. So this side is currently still on. We can actually check how many amps we got going through here. See, very efficient home, only 3.6 amps right now. It's a pretty warm day, or a pretty cool day, so that would make sure they're pretty close to each other, yeah. Balanced load, it's good. System here is in pretty good shape. So once we get that panel straightened out and make sure all the connections are tight, I think this customer won't have any issues for many, many years to come. We just want to flex it up into here. That's the ground for the, I think maybe even the pool ground maybe, because this is the ground for the whole.
Yeah, this
that might be the
pool.
equipotential ground.
Or it might be for that system.
No, because that's got its own. Could be the water bond also. I don't see any half-inch coming up here. It could be the equipotential grounding, so that let me see here. This guy, where does it go to?
Right here.
Over to there. It goes under the ground there?
Yeah.
Where's the other side of that bad boy? I don't know where that ground goes. It could be the water bond or the equipotential. Either way, it can still go to the meter main. So that's where we'll put it.
Go to the bus bar, the ground bar?
Yeah, and the meter main combo. Could be.
Yeah,
there's
but
supposed to be a jumper
down
between the gas line and the water line too. I don't know if they have. I don't see that anywhere. We can put a toner on it.
Yeah?
I did get a brand new toner. I don't got it with me. So you have two grounds going through. This one is going by itself down here. I mean, we could dig it up and see if it goes into the concrete slab. It could be the UFR ground. That's one of the things that I would consider that to be is a UFR ground or still an equipotential where it keeps, there can't be any differential in voltage between the grounding of the home and the grounding of the pool. So there never can be a voltage difference between the two. It's probably that. Either way, we'll just keep it exactly how it is. My first initial thought was to just bring it right to the ground bar here, but it's not necessary. We can just maintain exactly how it's currently ran. But it's kind of keeping our panel in the wall right now. So we got to cut it and put it back together. So if you want to take a peek in here. This is the summer kitchen I was talking about, and this is the ground. I don't know if it's going to actually pick that up very good because it's only one wire. I could maybe go to the neutral.
You guys an electrician? You guys turn the electric off upstairs?
It could be off, yeah. There's different sections of the house that are currently off, yeah.
What kind of video?
YouTube.
Oh, you doing YouTube video?
Yeah, yeah.
Alright.
The water. Wonder if I could use the other.
One more question.
Yep.
You guys need it off?
What's that?
You guys turn it off, you said?
Yeah, we're in the middle of.
Oh, you guys need it off?
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay, thanks. Yep. Number 6 ground here goes to the panel that we're replacing, and what this is it's a bonding ground for the gas pipe, the gas line. So there must be a section of non-metallic gas line between here and the meter where it's also got a bonding. So this just keeps everything safe, especially because we're close to the pool. So that's correct, and we'll have to make sure we maintain that ground. We could still just go right to the meter main combo panel with it, or the same panel, whichever one is easier for the electrician. So this is something my youngest daughter made me. She saw that I use pliers all the time, so she wanted to make me a set of pliers. She made sure she did green, because according to her that's my favorite color, which I guess is accurate. But I just wanted to use them